work on it, and we should be able to do things. It does look a little strange right now with the way that it's viewing. It's showing my whole screen, and it's not showing the images. This is a little frustrating, to be honest with you, as well as slowing down my computer to an absolute halt. So my streaming has got to get better here with this stuff. It's getting kind of ridiculous, and I think I just need to hire somebody else at this point. She at least got the thing right. It does look like it's showing my watching the YouTube channel, which instead of me allowing to share my screen, it's just showing my whole screen. Which I'm going to break the rules for a second and just, I guess, not exactly break the rules, but here were my original builds on FanDuel. I haven't had time to edit since all of the lineups were released, so I'm going to edit after the show. But it gives you an idea. I'm not really doing too many things different from what I was doing originally. We'll talk a little bit about FanDuel, and then I'll talk about DK, but make sure to like and subscribe and all that stuff. Can you guys see me? I can't seem to see me on this YouTube page, but that could be because it's just going slow. I don't know why it's looking the way it does. So this is more of a Q&A type of a thing for this particular show because it's not a... Sorry, guys. Really feel bad about it. Hate when it doesn't function properly. But anyway, go ahead and drop in any questions, drop in any thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that stuff. I am stacking. Here we go. It's actually like popping up here, but I've got to be able to silence myself. So basically, I'll go back to my FanDuel lineups. As you can see, I am basically playing the Dodgers, Angels over here, and Astros, and it's over on DK. It's more of the same. Those are the teams I'm looking at. I'm going to get rid of this Naylor play in just a minute. Love Larnach, and I like the Minnesota cheap guys as fillers on DraftKings. I also like the this is a little basketball for tomorrow for later. I also do like, I think the White Sox make for a good long shot stack, but I'm not getting to them much. Toronto, same thing. Seattle value and the Minnesota value is what I'm using. I don't love stacking those teams, but I think as like secondary or two-man, like Larnach, Jeffers, things like that are completely fine. And there is going to be fairly condensed ownership, but I love the Dodgers today. I love both LA teams. I think they're in great spots. It's nice and warm here in LA, and I think we should have some good opportunities. So sorry about the way the screen looks. Hopefully you guys can see my my FanDuel stuff. And yeah, drop in a hello and say what's up with you guys when you get in here. What's up, K9 Bronco? Brewers one-offs, absolutely legitimate. Yeah, cheap enough in most spots, and they're in a good spot. I just don't think it's like my favorite. And, on these big slates, you want to, like, Seattle fits that bill of not stacking bad-hitting teams. It sounds pretty obvious, but yeah, we keep doing it for some reason, and I'd like us to break that trend. So you can see real quick at my DraftKings lineups. Hopefully I won't get in trouble. That's where I'm at right now. But you can see it's a lot of Dodgers, a lot of Astros. I'm probably going to change this Morton over here because I'm using him quite a bit on DraftKings. But I do really like Morton as an SP2 on DraftKings, and I think he's viable enough on FanDuel, but you really don't need it. I just sort of forced this in just as my first build. Probably leave him in one of my lower buy-ins. And DeGrom is clearly the best pitcher, but I think there's good merit for a fade on DraftKings just because of he can obviously put up a ceiling against this team. He doesn't throw as many pitches as the other guys. Even the Woodruffs and the Giolitos, Kershaw can probably even go longer than DeGrom. If you're looking for a reason to fade a super chalky guy on a big slate, these are my reasons. You can also play, if that game plays, the Scherzer side of that. I just don't think that game's going to play. But if it does, I think Scherzer's a great pivot off of DeGrom anyway, or you can try and jam them both in. There's plenty of value. Larnach, I mentioned. Also in the outfield, you have Fraley at 2,500. You've got the cheap, the reasonably priced Houston outfielders. And then you've got the value at catcher for whether it's Stassi you use, whether it's Jeffers. There's a lot of good cheap options that you can find ways to get there. Wow, Embiid, do we really need this, guys? If Embiid is alive, shouldn't he be just playing at this point? If we were up 2-0, I could understand it being a true game-time decision, but to call it a true game-time decision now kind of is annoying to me. Love third base in general, my favorite position. You can see I double third based one of these. Needed to fill out Lagares for the stack and the other one. and would like to try and find a way to combo stack the Dodgers and Angels. The problem is there's a little bit of position overlap where I want to stack them. The one space that I don't feel like I need to play Justin Turner, and Rendon has been really bad, but Bregman's a great play, Donaldson's a good play. There's a lot of really, really good plays at third base today, and that's probably one of my favorite positions. But I love both LA teams, and I love the Astros, and that's basically what I'm doing with my hitting. Kershaw, Morton, Snell, DeGrom. I'm using all of them on DraftKings. I'm using a little bit of Scooble, but only like in long shot, large field tournaments. That's basically where I'm at. So drop in any questions, drop in any thoughts. I have lineups to edit, obviously, which I can't show you, unfortunately. And just wanted to give you an overall of what I'm doing in the NBA. You can see I'm trying to find a way to fade Chris Paul and trying to pay down at other spots, force me into a Millsap build, which I'm not crazy about, but I am open to it for a large field tournament. I think there's some possibility that he gets more run tonight. It's Denver's turn to make adjustments, right? Like Jermichael Green's playing 24 minutes. Wouldn't it be possible that Millsap gets the regular season minutes back a little bit? We see more like 20. It's the one position where Will Barton doesn't really affect these guys as much. So that's another thing I'm thinking about quite a bit. And I like these guys on DraftKings as well as spend downs. I think Thibault's got a definite upside on his minutes, especially with the job he's done on Trey. He and Simmons both. And naturally I'd want to be attacking the Denver game, but it's harder to play the Denver other pieces, the Gordons, the Monty Morrises, the Campazos, just because Barton's playing just enough to take away from those guys, but not to help the others. So let's get back and see if there's any baseball stuff. It looks like you guys don't have anything. So I am probably going to get out of here if there's no questions and nobody in here. We also are in Discord. I know Sheet's in Discord right now posting some of his plays. I'll be happy to answer questions up to lock over there, possibly even past lock. But this just gives you an idea of a little bit of where I'm at on this slate and what I'll be doing. So it looks like it's working. I'm glad it's working. Let me know if you can't hear me for any reason, because I'm going to be trying to use this same software system to be doing this. I just need to find a better way of sharing my screen, which for some reason it's not allowing me to do right now. So I have to talk to our developer for some help, and we'll be good to go then. But yeah, in the meantime, hope everybody has a great night tonight. Good luck to y'all, and let somebody take something down. Let's have a true DFS takedown. Let's get it done. Thanks, K9 Bronco. Good luck to you as well. Good luck to everybody out there. And let's get him tonight. I'm going to leave my stream running for a few minutes because I want to see if anybody does pop in. But in general, I'm mostly going to wrap it up if we don't have anybody with any questions or any thoughts. I do want to point out one thing about the Dodgers that's great to like also is that we don't know what their lineup's going to be yet. So my lineups are built on speculative Dodger lineups. I think that there's still a chance that you might see a guy like a Beatty in there. You might see a McKinstry in there. And on DraftKings, that's what I'm sort of hoping happens, because it'll allow me to play the pitchers I want without having to sacrifice all the rest. I also think that it's interesting to think that I'm going over my DraftKings. I gotta get away before I get in trouble with them again. But yeah, anyway, that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna make this quick edit while I'm on air right now, and you guys can drop in if you have any thoughts or questions or ideas, because I am going to remove Naylor and replace him. What I want to do is play Mercedes, but I'm 100 short, I believe. So I ended up with Naylor at 2,100 out there because I can play Mercedes in my utility spot, and that was my original plan, but I just couldn't find that extra 100 building the way that I was with this specific lineup. But we're going to try and edit it right now. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. And yeah, drop in any thoughts or questions, and I'm happy to answer them. I don't need to absolutely play Muncy here. I don't like the idea that I'm not playing enough Muncy and I'm playing a lot of Dodgers. And it is a lot, the prices make it tough. Even though on FanDuel you can do mostly whatever you want, that's very true. But it's also I don't know, it's kind of a weird day. I think what I'm going to do here is get rid of get out of here. See what I mean? See how long it takes to click and just get something done? Get rid of the Suarez over here and mix it up that way, and not playing Suarez. I want to spend down at my shortstop. I have my other sheets up there that I'm looking at, but There's nobody who I'm like overwhelmingly thrilled with. I think Urias is cheap enough. I think that certainly Rosario is cheap enough. I like Lux so much, but I'm playing him literally every single other lineup. So I think I'm probably going to pass on that one. And just in this specific lineup. But it's not the most exciting plays. I think that Ahmed Rosario might be your best bet here, and that's probably how I'm going to end up sticking with this. And I really don't like that lower shortstop. I usually love this year, and I have not loved it the same. Why did they just take him away? Did I just click off him? Come on, see what I mean? When I try to go live, how hard it is. I can't even click on a player and have their name pop up. And by the time it does, if I click twice, it'll have them removed. All right, let's see if how long it takes for that to work. This is the problem with the streaming when it's just me. So then we've got Lagares. Dodgers announced their lineup. It's Betts, Muncy, Turner, Bellinger, Smith, Taylor, Lux, Pollock, Kershaw. So Pollock is down to 8th. They went for the we didn't get the Kershaw Austin Barnes catching game, so it's a little different. Why can't I get Lagares in here? Look at this, LAG. That's shouldn't be that hard. This is the problem with trying to stream and do live shows by yourself. It's completely ridiculous, especially if there's no one watching. So, all right, guys, with that, Sheets is here for a few minutes. Great. That doesn't. I'm gonna need to get out of here because I can't do anything. What team do you think gets the most runs tonight? Scores the most runs? I'm thinking of it in terms of DFS. So I'll be talking about what I expect for the power side of it all to come by. I do like the Angels. I do like the Dodgers. I think Houston is probably the most likely team to score the most runs, but I think there's a lot of room on that. Look at this. I'm trying to click over here. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Can't even get my outfielder in. Ridiculousness. There we go. Or at least in the outfield. It's not using my search, but I'll just scroll down to 2000, I guess. Oh, no, I'll do this. I can't do anything. It doesn't matter. This is so frustrating. But yeah, so Dodgers, Angels, and Houston. That's where I'm at. And there's a million ways you can stack all of those teams. The Angels have the most narrow stack path, I would say. You know what you're gonna be doing. You want to play Walsh. You can't play Ohtani, unfortunately, as a hitter. But you Upton. And I think Lagares is because of his cheap price on FanDuel I'm using, but it's not like I'm in love. It's more I'm in love with trying to attack Merrill Kelly in a good hitting environment game with the roof open in Arizona. That's what I really want exposure to. And I as much as they struggled, I believe in Walsh and Rendon. I think very highly of them. So that's where I'm at. Let's see if there's anything else in here. This is not about the computer, and Sheets is going to do this. I'm kind of annoyed that Sheets is actually doing this, because if he was here, he could have just started this and we could have gotten this done together and would have been fine. But now I get to come in and criticize my stuff, and there's nothing worse than being on a show and having someone come in and criticize either your internet connection or whatever it is. People don't understand that happens a lot in LA, like it's a real thing. Grant was just talking about on the Roto Grinders show. So I'm not going to hear any blasphemy about how I'm like too broke to have a computer, especially from the guy I work with. That's not my favorite thing to hear, and for my buddy. What team has the worst pitcher by the eyeball test? Interesting question, Tracy. That's not the way you should be looking at trying to stack against exactly, because the worst is a very wide range. It's hard to know what to say. Is there a reason for that question? If you're trying to think of it in terms of who you should stack, that's not going to be the same answer necessarily. So it's hard to say who the worst pitcher is for me. Let's see if we go down. I mean, worst pitching options is a different story, but worst pitcher. There's a lot of bad pitchers. There's pitchers who aren't going to pitch very many innings tonight. There's good hitting environments that play way more. This all plays way more of a role than anything to do with who the best actual pitcher is. And I mean, Ober, I guess you'd say, but even that I don't agree with. It's just a bullpen. Kyle Freeland. You can make an argument for him. You can make an argument for probably those are my favorite two to make it. And I would make an argument that Merrill Kelly's much worse than everybody realizes. He would be my argument for. I know he's pitched well this year, but I don't believe in him. I like attacking him because he gives up power. But I also think that attacking Garrett Richards might be good. Again, he's not another guy who's not a bad pitcher, but certainly can get damage done. Fultonavich was a really good pitcher, but doesn't have any velocity, can't strike anybody out, which is why I like the Dodgers so much. Chase DeYoung, you could make an argument he's the worst, but could go any which way. Anyway, I still think this stuff, Sheets can say all he wants, but everybody's told me so far they enjoyed some of the single-person shows, and I am sorry for not accurately sharing everything on my screen, but you did get to see exactly what I'm doing on all the sites, and hopefully it's the content that matters, not exactly the way that it's being delivered. And I just have to talk to every time I have our developer work on it, it ends up being a different problem for some reason, and I don't know exactly what it is. But it is not my computer; it's a brand new computer, so I would say that. And Sano is another one who's too cheap over here. But I'm just going to do this for now, and then I'm going to finish my editing when I'm off the air because I cannot do all of these at once. And hopefully, if Sheets is out there, he knows how much I'm saying in jest too. I love the guy. I just I don't need to hear how badly I'm doing while I'm struggling trying to get my technical stuff to work. It's never fun. But anyway, live in Discord, ask any questions, pop anything up, and I'll be around. I'm not playing Ohtani as a pitcher, no. I understand if someone else wants to, they can have it. Not for me. But that's a good question. I think that he's viable on DraftKings. I'm just not getting to him. I like Morton too much. And if I was double paying down, I guess I could see a Morton lineup. But I think if I'm double paying down, I'd rather take the huge shot on Skubal, who probably has more of a leash and just put up, 30 fantasy points against this team or whatever he did. So that's where I'm at. Good luck to everybody. I'll be in Discord for the remainder, and we can chat then. All right. Good luck, everybody.